CWatt.
Tabria doing the intro for the thing today because she's about to leave for the airport. Thickums, Jade, Mindy.
Yeah.
Let's
The thick and the thin. This is the actual thick and thin.
The thick mustache. I need a wax.
Why would you say that about yourself?
Because I do have a little
No one can see
Mexicana
it.
little mustache.
But nobody can see it.
Let's hope not.
Now they're
Tabria
gonna
got good cameras. Tabria
Now they're
camera's
gonna be
better than
looking,
mine.
But now they're gonna be looking.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
She gives a little she-they sometimes.
Do you think that for real?
Yes.
You think you give she they? Do you think you ever give he him?
I think that straight people who know trans people exist but don't know how to talk to them sometimes see me and assume it's like she got big pants, must be trans. Like I've definitely got.
I don't even think it's the pants. I think it's the short hair.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bad bitches dress like boys all the time.
Aaliyah.
Me.
Also?
Hello. Thank you. Dressed like a child.
Just hoodie on hoodie.
Okay, high school YN.
Stud for stud.
All right, that's my dream.
Sorry. I'm excited.
Okay, I know you guys are like, why the fuck is Tabria not in here if she here?
Right.
She's packing. She's about to leave and hop on a flight. And we're recording this episode. I'm not even going to hold y'all damn near a week in advance. Yeah. Because the set is in Tabria's home. So we had to get this done. Now, Jade.
What's up, babe?
How was your week?
Do you want to introduce me to them?
They know who you are.
They don't know.
They literally know who you are.
My name is Jade Fox. I am one half of Mindy's Hart.
Period.
Yeah.
That was cute. Okay.
Today, standing in for one half of the thick.
Yes.
Normally, I'd have big shoes to fill. Today, I got big jeans to fill.
Whose jeans? Was that a fat joke?
No, because thick. Well, she got bigger feet than me as well.
Big jeans. You think thickness only exists in the pants? So you think you one of them people that think that if you ain't got no ass, you're not thick, huh?
Low key. I think so.
We're not getting into that.
Okay. Is that controversial?
Yes. There was an era I remember back in the day on Twitter when people used to call people out because there was like a moment in time where everybody used to caption their shit like thick or like Miss Thickums or thicky, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And whenever girls would post that and not have no ass, but like hips, thighs, you know what I mean?
Oh,
people
I still think that counts. I think it works in both. I think if you big boned it and you can call yourself thick. If you are, I was gonna say if you're very thin and then you just have this huge ass.
That's not.
I don't know.
No, not very thin. You had like mid-size.
Yeah,
with
mid-size
ass.
and bigger.
Thick.
Yes. A lot of people fall under the thick umbrella. Me as well. Me included.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Not in a realistic way. We be joking, but like not for real.
Okay.
Because like thick to me is not just like your like the entirety of your body. You know what I mean? Like thick also talks about like where you hold it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I feel like for a stud, I am thick.
You don't have like hips and boobs and butt.
Well, I used to have boobs, but my boobs are still voluptuous.
They're not voluptuous. They're
little
perky.
rotunds.
They're not rotund. They're just perky and small.
I feel like I'm like a pork meatball. Because there's beef meatballs, but then there's pork meatballs, and they're a little more dense, even though they're small. That's how I feel. I got a little thigh.
I don't know if I like
got
that
a little butt
analogy
on me.
because
I'm not skinny.
I don't know the difference. I don't think I've had like pork meatballs. Who makes pork meatballs?
Most Italian places you haven't lived.
I'm not a big fan of actual Italian food. I like New York Italian food. I like, you know what I mean? But like Italian food, like from Italy Italian food, it'd be 3 ingredients.
What's New York Italian food like?
It's just they got a little bit more seasoning in it. Like the pizza places sell beef patties.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like it got other, like a true Italian person will go to a New York pizzeria and be like, "What is this?"
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I understand that.
How was your week?
Oh my God. What's today? Saturday?
Today's Sunday. Saturday. Today's Saturday.
My week was very chill, very relaxed. I woke up most of the days this week at 9:30. I ordered all new
That's
underwear
so
and
late.
bras. I know. For me, that's late.
But period. Rested.
Mm-hmm.
Rested.
Because I haven't needed to be up early for things.
Mm-hmm.
But no, work is good. It's slow but abundant.
Absolutely.
Good week. How's your week, babe?
I'm extremely tired. This week has been very demanding. There's so many things happening all the motherfucking time.
Always.
Genuinely work and then doing things after work and then waking up the next morning and going to work and then doing things after work that day and then doing it again and again. My God, it's so tiring. But I'm really trying to find a way to create a true work-life balance, because I'm blessed that at least my days don't start super duper early. Like on days like today, they do, because my commute to work is an hour. And so even though I don't have to be there till 9, I got to leave my house latest 7:45 a.m., which means I got to be up by like 6:30, 7 a.m. if I just want to rush. You know what I mean? But aside from that, it's been very chill. I was beating myself up a lot this week about dropping the ball on a lot of my goals. And I have decided that I'm going to put all of those things first.
Okay.
I need to be as disciplined as possible. And the thing is, I'm saying it out loud. I'm putting it on this podcast because today is the new moon in Taurus. I'm speaking it out loud. We're manifesting it. Period.
That's my moon.
Y'all, I really did just come from work. I got my whole work outfit on underneath these clothes.
Her stockings.
I got stockings on. If you watching and you like, why Minnie got these black socks on? These are stockings. I be a bad bitch at work.
Exactly.
But I don't want to do all that sitting here right now.
The baddest.
But yes, so for today's episode, it's going to be a little different. We're going to be focused more so on the topic as opposed to updates and news. Don't worry, next week we'll be back with the news and it'll probably be just as depressing as ever. But I did not want to put the burden of researching news articles on Jade, and I did not have the time because I work every day. So
I like how I just described her. I probably could have done it.
What?
Because I was like, I've been chilling all week. So low-key, I probably could have done it.
No, but it's not your responsibility. It's a lot of work. And it's kind of depressing. So,
well,
you know? Just to touch on some pop culture things, because Jay told me in the car that she listened to all 3 of Drake's albums,
I did.
which we'll get into that. Tell me, what do you think about it? Genuinely.
So the thing is, I like Drake. I think that Drake makes hits. I think that Drake makes music I strength train, therefore I listen to Drake. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
Like in certain environments, he slaps.
Yeah.
Gym, for sure.
Yeah.
At a little pregame, for sure. You know what I mean?
Old or new? Because old Drake,
I'm not gonna
absolutely.
lie, mostly old.
Yeah, old Drake,
Mostly
absolutely in the gym. When I said no, I'm thinking about present day. Old Drake goes off in the gym.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. But today while I was in the gym, I decided to listen to all 3 projects. And the only reason I was able to get through, because I don't work out for 3 hours, but I was able to get through them all because I skipped through a lot of the songs. I'm not gonna hold you. Habibi, not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. It was very slow and it was annoying. Drake got one of them voices that it gets annoying after listening to it for a little while sometimes. It was more of like an R&B type bag, definitely more referential to like his earlier stuff.
Were there bars present?
On Habibi, I didn't see a lot in the space.
Okay.
Bars on Iceman, for sure.
Okay.
Consistently, no.
Yeah. But there were some things that made you go, ooh, caption.
Yes. Actually.
You wrote it down? You took notes?
I'm going to tell you all the songs that I ended up liking and putting on my little...
What was the third album called? Because Iceman, Habibi, and then what's the other one?
Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor.
And somebody said on TikTok that when you spell them out, it's him. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but knowing Drake, that sounds light skinned.
Oh, wait, that's so stupid.
Yeah. Plot twist, Make Them Pay, Shebang, Whisper My Name, and Dust. And I would also like to add that most of the songs, the beginning part of Iceman, I like. The more I listen to it, it went a little left for me.
The thing is, I would like to say that I'm going to listen to it and I'll be able to add some personal reference to it, but genuinely not going to happen most likely. But I will be paying attention to what people talk about on the internet and play on TikTok. So I heard the Sexy Red Cha-Cha Slide song, and that was wow. Wow. What's it called again? Cheetah Print. Wow.
I believe Sexy Red is just low vibrational.
I'm not going to lie. I think that she's genuinely like a CIA operative. I feel like she was put in place to lower the vibrations.
Yeah.
And the fact that the White House co-signed the albums, to me, says a lot. It says
the MAGA symbol thing.
It says a lot. I don't think that was his intention, but I think that him not responding and saying absolutely the fuck not says even more. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's no way someone from your camp didn't point out that the actual White House of the United States used your album cover in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, more press, more promo. Hate that.
He doesn't like the U.S. He just likes Houston.
No, he loves the U.S. He wanted to be from the U.S. for so long. He does not currently like the U.S. because he realized we sided with our own. You know what I mean? He wasn't out here really repping for Toronto the way he does now until we stopped fucking with him.
You're not wrong. Big hockey, ice pucks, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. My only big, if Drake, if you're watching this, I just want you to stop looking like Penny Proud in your music videos.
First of all, don't say that because he might really be.
Like, stop parting your hair in the middle and putting bobos in your shit.
The thing, and you know what? That pisses me off too, because people refuse to acknowledge the fact that he stole his whole steez from Smino.
Yeah.
That was Smino's whole vibe, still is. And you literally said, like it, mine.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that. The fucking clips and shit. Stop playing.
And you know what's unfortunate? All of these years that Drake was just stealing other people's aesthetics and sounds, he could have been evolving his own.
But my thing is this. He had been. You know what I mean? He had been evolving. And then I think what happened is when you reach a certain level of fame, and the thing is, I'm not speaking on this from experience because I've never reached that level of fame ever in my life. But I think that we understand people, you know what I mean? And from a psychological perspective, the pressure compounds. You know, that's why it took Cardi B so long to drop another album. That's why Rihanna's probably sitting on shit too. Because you understand that people are expecting nothing but greatness from you. And if you have one slip up, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucked. And I think that that's what caused him to start maybe not hiring, but stealing and siphoning the talent and the creativity of other artists. That's when his sound started shifting. Now you got ghostwriters. Now you out here and you co-signing all these little niggas that's coming up. And next thing you know, your whole next project sounds like their sound and nobody gives a fuck about them anymore because now they sound like they biting off Drake. And I think that this is, I wouldn't say karma, but I think that this is just the ultimate result of what has been happening. Authenticity is the only thing that's going to allow you to progress in this day and age. Back in the day, when bottle culture and club culture, strip clubs, BBLs, all that shit, everybody wanted the fake. Everybody wanted the glitz, the glam, and it was cool. Absolutely, Drake, who we know ain't really about that life. Tell me about
Champagne
the guns
Poppy.
You have.
Yeah.
Tell me about the strippers you fucking. Tell me about the club, because that was the allure of the era.
For sure.
Right now, everybody is sad and broke and depressed.
Yeah. It's not interesting anymore.
And people are uninspired.
For sure.
And so the only thing that truly inspires people is authenticity. And I think that that's why he could not comprehend how everybody was rooting for Kendrick. Niggas who didn't even fuck with Kendrick's flow or music were fully rooting for Kendrick. You know what I mean? It's because at least we know that's really you.
Yeah, you really mean that.
You
really
that.
Believe that.
You put out a jazz album.
Yeah.
You mean that. This is really you. Like, that talent is raw and it's real and it exists inside of you. This motherfucker recreating the cha-cha slide.
Yeah.
Talking about I'm gonna smack your ass so hard, there's gonna be a cheetah print. It's literally it's the equivalent to Chris Brown.
I think that Drake would be a much better artist if he never became what he is.
But that's my point.
Because when he was trying to become what he is, someone made a good point on TikTok. They said that Drake albums used to hit on the first listen.
Yeah.
Nothing, you wouldn't have to sit with something. You wouldn't have to run it back a couple times. Like, no, it would hit the very first time.
But that's because that was early on in his career. There wasn't as much pressure. There wasn't as much ego. And he was probably still fully in creative control of his music. When too much money is on the table, you start doubting your own skills. Yeah. And then you start inviting all these motherfuckers to come help you because you needed to be the best of the best of the best of the best. And lo and behold, we didn't need that. We just wanted you to keep making the music you've been making. Do
you think that the albums would be the exactly the same and be like regarded in the same way if the Kendrick beef never happened? Or do you think that the Kendrick beef has done irreparable damage to his like PR?
The decline was already there. It was already going downhill. And I genuinely believe that people were, the thing is, I don't think it would be as harsh, but I think that people would be like, ugh. But like, oh yeah, a new Drake album, but like, ugh. Yeah. Where it's like, we're not actually going to invest ourselves into listening to this, but like, good on you.
Why does he love athletes so much?
Because, let me shut the fuck up. Because I'm not trying to read this man for filth.
Because he always crying about a basketball player that don't want to be friends with him no more.
But the thing is, you have to understand, we are talking about somebody who you can tell has always had an issue with acceptance. And I am not saying that in a shady way. I genuinely, I can empathize with how difficult it probably was for him growing up, being biracial, raised by a white mom, probably in a white neighborhood, then going from that extreme to spending your summers in the deep South, surrounded by nothing but your Black family members who think you're not Black enough and you sound like a white boy. And then you go back to home and people calling you nigga or looking at you like you a nigga. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't have been easy. And I think that a huge part of his persona is pretending like he's fine. You know what I mean? And when I say fine, I don't mean aesthetically.
I'm not gonna hold you. So on Iceman, he has basically a music video for every single song. Like basically for every single song.
Overcompensating.
And I haven't really paid attention to Drake in a intentional way in a very long time. And so as I'm like on the tread, I'm watching this music video and he references his age a few times. And he's like, I'm pushing 40, XYZ. And I'm looking now, I'm like, nigga, I'm not shaming people for looking their age. That's not what I'm doing. But like, it was the first time where I was like, this nigga is aging. Yeah. And all he's on Iceman, because I haven't really listened to anything other than that in the last maybe 5 years. All he sings about is how bored he is with his life because he's had money for a long time. He can fuck wherever he wants. He can buy whatever he wants. He's, the father, very Nicki Minaj, y'all bitches are my sons. Yes. Type shit. And he's hurt by the people who chose up.
But the thing is, it's not just about choosing up. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much clout you have, how much fame you have. When you have an abandonment wound or if you have an acceptance wound, that will always be around. And he has to learn that you do not need to prove to anyone that you're worthy. And I don't think he's learned that lesson yet. No. And I think that he has proven to himself that he is only worthy when he's on top. And that's why all of this keeps happening. And I hate that for him.
He just needs to go to Fiji and do a little ayahuasca, and he gonna make the best album of his life.
You don't think he's done that before? He probably has. He's a rich nigga. They've all done it.
He talked about doing DMT.
That's what I'm saying. They've all done it. The issue is, and I was talking about this last night when we were at a friend's birthday thing. A lot of people spiritually bypass the actual work, right? And I'm a woo-woo girl. And so like I'm all for take the shrooms, do the thing, get the reading, do all the things, whatever. But sometimes it is as simple as going to see that lady sitting on that couch and being honest. Yeah. And unfortunately, most people, the hardest part is being honest. Nobody wants to admit, yeah, I am a wounded child who's desperate for fame because I never feel like I'm good enough. Yeah, I had a great mom, but I still feel a lack of a connection because I am out here still looking for validation from every woman out there. So maybe my relationship with my mom is not as good as I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. And no, but the thing is, this is all just me making shit up. I don't know this man's life at all. But there are certain things that are palatable.
For sure.
That you can see. And I think that it's a sad case. And there was a generation of people who became famous simply to prove a point. And now we're seeing the results of that. Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, Drake, even fucking Lil Wayne and shit, to prove a point. And then you prove the point and it was not enough. Now Wayne, I don't know, Wayne talented as fuck. Okay?
Yeah.
I think Drake is very talented as well. And Nicki Minaj is too. But that hunger of like, I need to prove myself really fueled.
It's ego.
It fueled.
It's a lot of ego.
That talent.
Yeah.
Man.
Bummer, dude.
I know. Bummer for real. Duran Bernard dropped an album. I haven't heard that, but I will listen to it.
He sure did.
Mm-hmm.
He always makes good music.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. I wonder if it is truly possible for people who make good things to cross over into radio simply because let's use Kendrick, for example. Kendrick has hits. Kendrick makes good music.
Absolutely.
Does he have as many hits as other radio people? No.
When you say radio, you mean like just people that get played on the general radio?
Mm-hmm.
But the radio's dead.
Well, in public spaces.
You mean like
the
club,
club,
like Billboard?
Yeah, on commercials, like commercial success, basically is what I'm trying to say. And Duran's one of those people where I do wonder, I'm genuinely curious about how his career is going to go.
The thing is,
because he doesn't seem like he's trying to go that way.
And he doesn't need
which
to.
I don't think you have to for success.
Mm-hmm. But also, Duran is just like many artists where, unfortunately, in order to achieve that commercial success, you kind of either have to be like a diamond in the rough, like a Doechii, where it's the perfect time, perfect place, boom, out of there. Or you dumb the music down a little bit and you make it palatable to everyone. Because commercial success is literally just making music that everybody likes. Old, young, white, black, everybody. Clean cut, in the streets, everybody fucks with it. And when you have a very specific like character to your music, that's not going to apply across the board. White grandmas are not going to listen to Duran Bernard.
Right.
You know, white sorority girls are not going to listen to that.
But Meghan Trainor? Hey!
No. Well, Meghan Trainor is only because her music in Target commercials. That's different.
For sure. For the Stanley Cup crowd.
Yeah, but also her music's doing poorly too.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's not translating across the board. Like there were so many like very pop like songs that I may not have been a fan of, but I understand why it has a mass appeal.
Do you feel like there's a sound right now? Because I feel like at one point in time, Drake was kind of leading what the popular sound was. When it was Afrobeats, he was on it. I would say Chris Brown a little bit too.
I was going to say not leading, jumping on.
Well, jumping on and then kind of motivating other artists to also jump on.
But that's different because what you're talking about is colonizing.
What I'm saying is like when we think of like summer 2016, summer 2016, when we think of summer 2019, summer 2020.
No, I know. I understand that he was like the sound, right? Yeah. He was the voice of those eras, but he was not ushering in new genres. He was jumping on genres that were already in existence.
That's what I'm saying though.
And then colonizing them.
For sure. But he also was a part of why that particular sound was popular at that time. And so what I'm saying right now is, do you think that there is a sound? Do you think that there is somebody that is leading, kind of what artists should be doing? Do you think that there is a general sound of 2026?
I feel like I need a better example because using the example of Afrobeats, I don't agree that he did anything for real. Because at the end of the day, Afrobeats was massive with or without him. Now, did he... In general, yeah, across the board. Like I was going to full-blown African like clubs before 2016. Like it was a thing. WizKid Davido, everybody we knew of them.
Yeah.
It was already a thing. He jumped on it and he introduced white people and like, people who are non-black or not in proximity to, Black people of the diaspora. He introduced them to it for sure. But that was already a multi-million-dollar
Let me rephrase the question then.
I want a different genre. Give me another example that he ushered in, that he created.
Well, I'm not take Drake out of it. What I'm
Okay.
saying is Drake was a part of why certain sounds were popular during an era, even if it wasn't solely his influence, right?
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is right now, is there a sound?
Yeah, I think that right now, music is kind of like broken up into pieces, right? So I think white people music is coming back. It's a lot of like whisper tone, sing-songy, like music that's really popping off. It's a lot of like house-ish, like breakbeat type music that's popping off. And I think, what's old girl name from the UK?
Pink Panthers.
Pink Panthers. I think she ushered that new
I agree
era.
with that.
And there's so many songs, so many artists that are dropping music that are in that niche for sure. I think that soul music is having a comeback. I think R&B music. I think that there are many renaissances happening, and it really just depends on where you're tapping in to really understand what the sound is. I don't think that we are in an era where everything is just mass appeal, and I like that better
kind of sound,
because the unilateral sound was a product of capitalism,
for sure.
So the fact that we all now have different things we can choose to really fuck with and like vibe with is a sign that that system is dead. The labels aren't telling us what to listen to anymore. And I love that.
Me too. They're trying to on TikTok though.
Well, that's different.
Hey.
That's different. And I do agree that they are trying to on TikTok, but I think that even on TikTok, they understand that there are different genres that are popping right now. And so I'm not getting the same thing that everybody else is getting.
Yeah.
My timeline is very much so curated to me. I get a lot of like Caribbean, Haitian, black ass, like all my music is black. It's a lot of, there's a song super duper popping on TikTok right now. It's this girl, Mimi. Say Mimi, ki desa.
It's not on my feed.
See?
It's like Zeddy and Jersey Club type shit on my feed.
Okay. So like there's the girl Mimi genuinely popped off, like her song. It has like over 7 million plays.
That's crazy.
On Spotify alone at this point. Like there's so many different niches. I love it. It's really nice.
Do you want to talk about the roast?
Oh my God. Yeah, sure.
So we watched Kevin Hart's roast, all 2 or 3 hours of that coonery. And Chelsea, thank you for your service. I'm going to say that. Cheryl.
I got a little bit of smoke for her too.
For real? Why?
Because she was laughing real hard at some of these jokes. I'm sorry.
You're not wrong.
Regina,
she didn't laugh at everything.
Regina, tight-lipped.
Tight.
Regina,
but no one said anything to her.
No.
Either.
No, you can tell it's because they knew. Try it, bitch. She was not playing at all. Like the camera in the beginning of the roast was panning to her a lot. And then we started catching her making these faces. And then they just stopped showing her. But she was not laughing. She only laughed when Cheryl Shepard was up there.
Yeah.
When Katt Williams was up there. I think she also laughed when that bald guy,
Jeffrey something
with the full red suit. I think when he was up there, and then Chelsea too. But just the non-problematic ones, the ones who weren't out here talking about just the most abhorrent things, making fun of the fact that someone's husband committed suicide.
It wasn't funny.
Making fun of George Floyd unprovoked.
Yeah. Making
fun of, or making a joke and making light of. He said, what was the joke? He was like, Kevin Hart is so small that they're going to have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. And the fact that he said they're going to have to, not they would have, or he would have been, you're talking about it in present tense. The fact that you have people on your stage, part of your roast that you had to approve, mind you, and you had to invite, who are proven to be MAGA Nazis and you're like, thank you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck.
My thing is, in a roast, you roast somebody for like the obvious stains in their career,
Yes.
or embarrassing moments,
Yes.
XYZ. If most of your jokes are on the fact that he's black, you just found that as an opportunity to be racist. That's what it was.
Did you know?
What?
And this pissed me off even more. So Kevin Hart had to approve the jokes.
Ooh.
Right? Or at least the themes, like without knowing exactly. And he had only one rule of no-go for the jokes. Guess what it was? Clearly it wasn't lynching. Clearly it wasn't black jokes.
His kids?
No, because they made a joke about his daughter getting a train run on her. Yeah, and he laughed.
What? What was it?
They were not allowed to talk about his cheating debacle in Vegas.
Which they did anyway.
I know, but that's why when the guy made the joke, he was like, I know I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I got to do it. Mm-hmm. That was the one rule that he said, I don't want nobody making jokes about this. You care more about people not knowing that you are out here be just a hobbit whore, fucking bitches in Vegas when you out here fully married, right? You don't want to talk about that. But everything else that they, remember, even when they were making the jokes, like the white comedians would be like, I got her approval. She said it was cool. He said it was cool. Because they did. They all contacted each other and made sure it was cool, because you don't want the shit to be really fucked up.
But the reason why he said yes is because of ratings, clicks, and press.
Which is crazy to me.
I think, and that's, which then again really shows the coonery.
Yes.
Because you're willing to do anything and have anybody say anything about you. Not even just about you, about black people. For a check. It's
really disgusting, and I like that. That made me completely write him off. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I'm really, really cool off you. And I was really happy that Katt showed up, but I'm also happy that Katt didn't play.
Yeah.
Did you see? Okay, remember when at the end of Katt Williams' set, when Kevin Hart grabbed the mic and he was like, hey, I just want us to like bury the hatchet, beef over, beef done. And then they shook hands. Someone zoomed in and Katt Williams whispered, never, in his ear. Yeah. Literally, he said never.
I love him.
But that's why at the end of the show, when Kevin was doing his set, he was going so hard on Katt. I don't know if you saw that part.
I didn't,
because we stopped watching, but then I went back and watched that part, just ending like comedy set, and he was going in talking about how he got beat up by a child, and he was out here just all like literally brought up all of his arrests, everything, and just drug him through the mud. Was it funny? Of course not, because Kevin Hart not funny no more. Kevin Hart was funny at one point in time. He was. What is that about? It's the money. It's the same thing. We literally just talked about it with what's his face. It's Drake. The same thing. Yeah. When you get to a certain height, you stop challenging yourself because you think you're God. Your ego is so big. You think everything you say is funny because you're in rooms with people who laugh at everything. You're in the studio with people who tell you that everything is amazing. You're not getting a real raw reception. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting that. Like remember that special he did in his home during COVID? Oh, that was so bad. It sucked. He thought it was great. It was so bad. Okay, and that just proves the point. They needed a teleprompter with jokes for that. Okay, it was bad. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. As much as I want success, and as much as I want success for you and for everybody that I know and love, if it comes at the risk of you losing yourself to that extent and being that disillusioned, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Yeah. Okay. You want to be famous. What is the what is the like, and this question is going to sound weird, but what is the lowest level of fame that lowest and the highest level of fame? Like, give me an example of like, you would be happy being this famous and be satisfied, and let me take the word famous out. Successful, but in a public eye. I guess famous. Fuck it. It's famous. You want to be this famous? This is the lowest where you'd be satisfied and felt like you were successful and you like really did the thing and you can die happy. And then what's the highest height before you're like, actually now it's getting out of hand? The thing is, in either scenario, I could curate how much I engage with my own fame.
Because I think that there's a reason why we see
Mm.
the mess of certain celebrities all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's because they don't care for us to see it.
You know,
And then I think that there are others, like in Anne Hathaway, for example, where it's like we never hear about her ever.
you know, yes.
Except for when she's promoting a movie or something. You know
That's
what I
good.
mean? And I think that like Chaperone, she gets on my fucking nerves because it's like if you really wanted to be left alone, you could very easily do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you go into these public spaces and you act like you're not who you are, and then you get mad at how people react to you, knowing that you're an incredibly famous person. And
Mhm.
not on top of that, you're an incredibly famous person who is polarizing. And it's almost like I'm not saying that like she deserves to be harassed. That's not what I'm saying. But the way
baits.
she reacts to things, the conversations that she has, it almost encourages people to like
she baits.
egg her on. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think in either scenario, if I'm rich and famous and I have options, I think that I would be out the way.
Either way.
Yeah.
You know, I think that now there is a certain level of fame where you can reach that's super high and you can still maintain some sort of privacy. But for me, there's a certain level where it doesn't matter what you do. Somebody has a website or a pin or a board or something, and they're piecing together your birth chart, and they're going and they're finding pictures of you when you were in high school, and they're talking to people who once knew you once upon a time, and they're doing all of this like digging. And I think that is the part that scares me the most because I like my privacy.
For sure.
You know, and that's why I really like Solange is my holy grail for real.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though we know her business, we don't know her business for real.
We don't.
We've never found out why her and her
She
husband
doesn't
got
tell
divorced.
us.
Literally, but that's my point. Not only does she not tell us, she's out the way so much that you can't even really dig to find out.
Yeah.
You don't see pictures of her at the club. Like you might see her at an event, but it's a Getty image.
For sure.
You
For
know?
sure.
And then she will post her own, like, this is me and my life, but it's very curated.
The little MacBook videos.
Yes, it's
her
very
shaking
curated.
ass.
Exactly. That I love that. I love that so much because all that we consume from her is her art. That's it. We consume the dishware, the music, the aesthetics, and the furniture.
Do you feel like you are mindful of what you post now with the possibility of becoming very famous later?
No.
Maybe you should.
I know. No. You know,
and listen, being stalked twice will really ruin. Hey, the stalkers ruined it for the rest of y'all. Okay, I'm sorry, but like,
you still put out a lot of information about yourself.
Not really. I just make it look like I do, but I don't for real.
No, because the thing is, I feel like you put out just as much information as I put out. Like I tell for real. Nobody knows about like my present day life. Now on the podcast, I'll talk about my job and things like that. Nobody knows where I work. Like I won't even get on the social media videos for my job. You know what I mean? Like I think that in terms of like my true privacy, nobody knows my government name at all. There are certain things that I do, but I will tell hella stories about my past. But those things in my mind, it's like, if you dig enough, you might find out who my ex is. But at the end of the day, so what? That nigga private as fuck too.
Yeah.
You're not going to find nothing.
I think I have been traumatized enough by an evil, wretched, rotten bitch.
Yeah.
That the depths that people will go will never not be on my mind.
But the problem is with that is you're talking about someone who is very close to you for a very long time.
Yes.
And so they know your government name. They know your parents' name. They know where you were born. They know all these things about you that makes it way easier for them to infiltrate.
Maybe, yes. But I don't know. I think once you experience one psychotic individual, this is just me. This is just how my trauma shows up. But like once I've experienced one evil person, other people getting to that level is never off the table to me.
You know,
regardless of like how close they are to me, or
same as these baby twins. For those of you who are unaware, Jade had a very toxic and abusive relationship in the past, and that was one of the first things that we kind of bonded on because same. I had to get a restraining order. I was out here getting stalked. I was out here getting my fucking windows and tires popped and fucking all types of shit. Whatever. It was very, very bad. And for those of you who have been listening to this podcast for a while, you were here with me through a lot of it because a lot of it happened live.
That was so
on this
crazy.
podcast. But I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I am the way that I am as well. And I have very high boundaries. I can keep key and I can tell you stories about my past for days. You don't know shit about me today.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know shit about who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And who I was back then in these stories that I tell, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to gain from that?
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I be wanting to tell stories. I have so many stories. My TikTok drafts are full.
Mhm.
Okay. And I always get nervous. I always get a little nervy.
Trust your gut. I feel like I don't think that you have that much to be nervous about. Like I don't think that she gonna pop up and be like, "You talking about me on TikTok?" Because at the end of the day, I think that she has more to lose than you do.
It's less about like that because I'll beat her ass
That part
on site.
I will too.
And you will too.
Exactly.
We gonna jump her.
Exactly.
Sorry. But my thing is like when I ascend to my final form and my final place, I don't want you to be able to like Google Jade Fox and then see that.
You talking about your ex?
Yeah. Or not like I don't want anyone from my past to be able to pop up in a search result.
But my thing is this, you don't mention names. And the way that you speak about these things and the way that you like at least your story times on TikTok or even your stand-up, it's comedy. You can't say that because you can't say that you are a comedian and then be afraid to speak about your real life experiences. Because then you're not a comedian, then you're just making shit up.
You're not wrong.
Like there should be no fear in someone Googling you and then seeing a video of you talking about a real life experience you went through. You're not dropping names. You're not dropping pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You're just talking about what happened to you. It's your story.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Reclaim. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And fuck her ex. I'll beat your ass too. Might lose, but I'm gonna try.
Say that was a dense nigga. Yeah.
I'm dense too. I'm the thick as well.
I remember back when it was happening, me and Tabria talked about it. And I was like, Tabria, if you really showed up, you gonna help protect me? And Tabria was like, Mindy, you know I don't know how to fight, but I will do my damnedest. And I was like, okay, real life scenario.
She could do damage.
I was like, real life scenario. He busting this bitch right now. Because this is when I was literally like, I moved into her studio and it was like 300 square feet. And I moved there because he found where I moved to previously and was just like, you know, breaking my windows and shit.
That's crazy.
So I'm moving with her and we're talking about it. And I was like, yeah, what would you do? And Tabria literally came up with a plan. She was like, okay, Mindy, he busts through the door. I grab this can from the kitchen. I throw it at his head. You run up, kick him in the balls. She was like, I'm going to go. She grabbed the spoon. She was like, I'm going to gouge his eye out. I was like, period. Because the way she talked, she literally was like, Mindy, I'll grab a heel from one of the shoes because the closet, everything was.
That sounds like a Home Alone.
First of all, everything was in arm's length. Okay, I could have my ass seated firmly on the bed, reach into the bathroom, grab my toothbrush, reach into the kitchen, grab a cup of coffee. That's how tiny this apartment was. Never moving.
Got it.
So when she was saying a spoon, a can, a shoe, all in arm's length.
Period.
Yeah, love that. Real one. We fight dirty over here.
Exactly. Hey, and I'm gonna fight even dirtier when I'm 10 pounds heavier in muscle from the Tessa Moreland.
Is that a transition?
Yes.
Okay. Tell people what that is.
So Tessa Moreland is a peptide that I'm thinking about taking because I unfortunately have been influenced by the Looksmaxxing, by the obsession with wellness, by all of the ways that people are trying to become their most attractive selves. And I also think that it's really interesting that this is happening alongside that show that just came out, The Beauty, where you take this shot.
And the substance.
We're obsessed with beauty in a way right now that and maybe it's just because I'm grown and I'm an adult and I actually know how to comprehend what's going on. But I don't remember people ever being this obsessed with looks and desirability.
Yes, but in a different way. We're always obsessed with looks, but just in a specific way.
It's usually about body.
Yes.
Or like hair.
So at one point it was being skinny. Then it was being thick, having a BBL, all that. Now it's like overall aesthetic, but health. People want to look like they're constantly in the gym without actually going to the gym.
Yes.
People want that chiseled jawline. They want sharp angles. They want the six pack and all that. They want the Pilates body. And I think there was an era with skincare too, where everybody was out here. I remember when I never even heard of a sheet mask. And then I woke up one day and everybody was talking about them and putting them on. And I went and got myself some sheet masks too. And then all of a sudden, boom, now I always have sheet masks or like eye patches.
Yeah.
Eye patches became a whole fucking thing.
Yep.
And like the pimple patches.
Collagen.
Like, yes, exactly. There's always, the pendulum always swings. It just lands in different locations. And I think that right now with Looksmaxxing, it's so interesting because it was created by men.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few trends, the beauty trends, where men are literally leading the way.
I wrote down a question to ask you about that. Oh, do you feel like this is even new, or are men just catching up to women? Like, do you think that this is influenced by women in all the ways that we have been?
No, I don't think that I think that women are the inspiration, but not in that way. I think that men are so hyper fixated on their looks because of the fact that women no longer want to date them. And I think that this is a reaction to incel culture, but in the opposite direction. Incels fall into it. They're like, oh, you don't want to fuck me? Fuck you. I'm never fucking anybody again. I'm going to be celibate. And I'm going to hate you bitches. And then the Looksmaxxers are like, you don't want to fuck me? I must not be fine enough. Let me get finer. So you fuck me.
Do you think it's a recession indicator? Because men, I feel like in a heterosexual context, tend to be looked at as like breadwinners, people who bring home the bacon, people who can fund, a family or a certain type of lifestyle. But if there's a recession and these niggas aren't making as much as they used to, and this is their only other currency,
I think that might maybe a little bit, but overall, I think the true reasoning behind it is the fact that as women, we are now the most independent we've ever been. We don't need men for shit. Like we don't need men for shit. And we're kind of disillusioned to the idea of marriage and children because healthcare is shit. Children are expensive. It fucks your whole body up. Yeah. They leave you anyway. It's all these things that we're witnessing and seeing. And if it's not for true love, most women are not going to do it. And so now you have to actually, and this is the crazy part, the men are focusing on their looks when genuinely all you really got to do is be a good person. Literally. But instead of being a good person, you're like, well, what else can I do? I got to treat these bitches good. I got to take you on dates and shit. I got to actually be nice. I got to find out what you actually enjoy. I got to get into your interests. And instead they're just like, let me just get finer.
It sucks too, because it's like the Drake thing all over again. You could actually be taking this time to figure out who the fuck you are. Yeah. To gain some actual confidence and not conditional confidence.
But the problem is, and the root to this tree is the fact that we still raise little boys to think that women are bred to be of service to them and that they can do no wrong. Right. And that is continuously happening. And then also, I think that men are to blame too, because unfortunately, when men grow, a lot of the men in this generation, and I mean just the spectrum of the generation, so Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, whatever, I think that a lot of these men, they were sold a dream. You know what I mean? Yeah. They were sold a dream and they are reacting to the disappointment in the fact that that dream does not exist. And truly, the only person who's going to love you unconditionally, maybe, is your mama.
That's sad.
It's your mama. Yeah. And half of you hate your mama.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do about that? Again, y'all got to go see that lady. Yeah. Don't nobody want to go see that lady and sit on that couch and cry.
Maybe this is also just like being in LA for so long, because LA has a pretty big wellness industry. Like people take their wellness very seriously here. And we're talking about like one side, which is like the aesthetics, right? It's like the Botox, filler, surgery, XYZ.
And the men are getting all that right now.
They're getting all of that plucked.
Yes.
But then there's the other side of it where people are in deep therapy. They're doing the ayahuasca. They're, taking the green shots and the ginger shots. And they're, going and getting, vitamin B shots and stuff like that. But I don't actually feel like it's for the purposes of the wellness. I think that people are doing it because of the optics of I care about myself, but caring about yourself isn't that pretty.
Well, I think LA is not a good example for society as a whole. Because LA is truly just a meetup spot for everyone who thinks they're a bad bitch from their hometown.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like LA and New York, they're meetup spots where it doesn't matter where you're from. You're from Illinois, you're from Vermont, you're from wherever. If you were the biggest fish in your tiny pond, you are going to one of these two areas. And then when you get there, you realize, oh shit, it's the ocean. And so I think that the trends kind of work in that way too. And that's why you cannot recreate things like the drive for really kitschy things like La La Land, where people stand in line for almost an hour to get a fucking coffee, or Community Goods, where people are literally standing in line before they open up. Yeah. Because it's a wealth indicator, a status indicator, a clout indicator. People are really going to Erewhon and spending $400 on 10 items because it's an indicator of who you are, because you're trying to prove to yourself that you are still a big fish, even though you're in the fucking ocean.
Are you just as attractive if you look like everybody else?
Yes.
Like, do you think that the currency would be the same?
Yeah, I think that, well, no. I think the reactions are different for sure, because there are plenty of women who get turned away from clubs out here who are 10s in their hometown. But comparatively, they're falling at a strong 7.5 in LA. Yeah. Not because they're not a 10, but because of the way they rate and scale people here. Because unfortunately, in LA, it's not just about how fine you are. It's about what you got on, how much money you got, who you're with. It's about the proximity you have to people who actually have real clout. That's true. Like, there are plenty mid girls, mid men who are higher on the totem pole in LA and in New York because they're homies with someone who's actually famous.
So do you feel like, well, first of all, when's the first time you've ever felt your attractiveness be actually currency?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
No, because the way it happened, I was the last one to find out. I had no idea that I was fine.
Same.
So I had an epiphany, and it was probably like 3 years ago, I'm not even gonna lie, where I looked back at my life and I realized, this is gonna sound so stupid. I always thought that I was a personality hire. Right? And then I look back on my track record, and I was like, I moved to LA because I was dating a producer who was signed to a record deal and literally told me to pack all my things, flew me out, moved me into a house, and took care of me. And I thought personality hire. Then I had a record of dating other producers and artists and all these people who had like clout and things like that. I had a celebrity crush who I met in real life and tried to bag me immediately before I even looked his way. There are all these little things that happen in my life where I just thought, oh my God, how funny is that? And then I woke up one day and I was like, bitch, it's because you fine.
Literally.
Like, people don't give a fuck that you have personality. I was like, oh, my personality must have shined through.
It's great.
They don't give a fuck.
It's a cherry on top.
No, but the fact that a majority of these interactions that I had with these people, they didn't give a fuck about my personality, especially not when it was talking about the men's. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't give a fuck. They thought I was fine. I genuinely was like, oh my God, they love inviting me to the studio to hang out with the rappers.
Because I'm just a vibe.
Because I'm a vibe, yeah. Because I be making them laugh. Turns out, no, girl, they wanted you to shut the fuck up and roll these woods.
Literally.
Yeah. And once I realized that,
no one expected you to roll anything, baby.
First of all, I can roll.
You can roll things, not blunts.
Whatever. Either way, yeah, that was a crazy like moment of like, oh shit, bitch. Like, literally, it was an aha moment where I was like, oh my God. And then I thought about all the people that I dated across the board, and I'm like, damn, because someone made a comment. They were like, damn, man, you be bagging like top quality bitches, and I was like, because I got great personality. No, girl. No.
Got that face.
It's because people think I'm fine in that body. When did you realize?
Very late as well. Honestly, probably not even till my late 20s. No shade, not till I shave my head off. Shave my hair off.
So when you cut but you know what? That's actually valid. You cut the hair off and now all you see is face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I made my first TikTok. You can go on my TikTok and watch it. I made a TikTok and I was like, it's so crazy that I've just been gatekeeping my face this whole time. And I was like, oh shit. Because I don't think I was expecting it to give me a look.
Mm-hmm.
I was just expecting my hair to just look different.
You know, I feel
but
that way too.
It did something, especially as a stud.
But it displays your face in a way. Because genuinely, I've never met Jade or seen Jade with hair. Like, you've grown your hair out a little bit, but I've seen like old videos and pictures and things like that, and Jade had tall hair. Okay. Like Gumby.
You hated it.
I hated it. I'm so like, Jenny, I'm not even gonna lie. If you still had it, we might not be here right now. It just was not for me.
I understand.
You know what I mean? It something about that haircut on anyone, guys, gals, doesn't matter. It gives, I don't really like black girls.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's a very particular aesthetic choice. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. The pandemic happened, my hair kept growing, and I said, all right. Gumby it is. Yeah. Floor
wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like I had a similar thing, but genuinely I feel like I realized I was attractive or more attractive when I stopped making my brows dark and wide. The brows change your face. When I used to draw them in,
baby,
oh my God.
It was 2 runner rugs.
You talking about me?
Huh?
You talking about me?
No, I was talking about me.
Not you talking about me. You didn't even see me in real life when I had the brows.
We sat down and went through
We saw pictures. Whatever. The brows was holding me back. It's brow blindness. You had hair blindness. You know how girls be having lash blindness. Sometimes you just gotta,
I also just
get some glasses.
I don't think that you realize that you're fine or that you have any ways to deal with that until you think you're fine. Like, I don't think that there was ever a point before I cut my hair where I thought I can make myself more attractive. It wasn't until I felt that I was attractive, then I was like, oh, I can dress in a certain way. I could dye my hair. I can do these things and I can engage with my own desirability.
It was a little different for me because I didn't think I was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just thought I was mid.
Same.
And I recognized the fact that I was mid in LA. But then whenever I would go back to New York or I would go to Atlanta, I got attention. And even in Atlanta, before I moved out here, when I was young and I was in college, I still got hella attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I genuinely thought it was because, well, you the best we got in the room right now.
Right.
Not like oh my God, who is that? It was like you'll do. That's how I thought, which is terrible. Terrible. Don't think like that about yourselves.
Yeah.
But I know it was because nobody reinforced that in me. Nobody told me I was pretty when I was growing up. Nobody, like, the most I got was when I would come home and crying because somebody made like a black joke or like told me that I was like dark as fuck.
Tar baby.
Okay, relax, Jade.
No. I'm saying I got called tar baby.
Oh my God. I was about to say, anybody call me a tar baby? That's so crazy. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's crazy as fuck.
No one ever called you that?
No.
I was getting tar baby here. Tar baby there.
I was getting, they call me Midnight
Cocoa
Blackie.
bean.
Midnight Blackie, African booty scratcher, Haitian booty scratcher. It was a lot of booty scratchers. And I would come home and I would cry about it. My mom would be like, she would tell me, I love the fact that you're dark skin. You know, I prayed for a dark skin baby because my mama light. I prayed for a dark skin baby and I got it. And she was like, why you think I chose your daddy? Because he black. And I was, in Creole, it sounds better. Okay. But she means he's dark.
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, okay, cool. So being dark ain't bad. So it must be my face. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
So it's like I never got the, oh, you're such a pretty girl. Oh my God, you're such a pretty girl. And when somebody would say something like that, my mom would be like, whatever. Pretty than books.
Girl.
You know what I mean?
Parents ruin everything.
They do. And I don't think they realize how that fucks with your psyche. When you were growing up, did your parents ever tell you that you were beautiful?
My dad said I had nice peepers a lot. But only because they're his. I was told that I was very smart.
Yes.
And I was told that I needed to watch my mouth. But very rarely was I told, you're such a pretty girl.
And that's why we ended up with this delayed moment of like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like people value my looks.
Yeah.
And this is why I tell people all the time, I've had multiple conversations with girls who are like, well, Mindy, I'm ugly. Well, Mindy, like, how do you have confidence? Like, I'm ugly. And I literally, one time I had a conversation with a girl and it was like via TikTok DMs. And she literally like was saying that. And I looked at her page and I was like, girl, you literally look like me 10 years ago. And she was like, no, like, Mindy, you're stunning. You're gorgeous. And so I sent her a picture of me with them thick ass brows before I had braces and I had my gap still, glasses on, hair all fucked. And I sent it to her. I was like, this was me at your age. And she literally was like, oh.
You said it gets better.
Okay, it gets better.
Yeah.
It gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that there are very few people. There are definitely people who have been stunning their whole life.
For sure.
But there are, I think majority of us have our ugly duckling phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then you grow beyond it. But you have to give yourself a little boost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I didn't actively try to make myself look more attractive, if I didn't get my braces, I have to get braces myself. My parents didn't want to give me braces.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not saying my gap made me ugly. I don't think so. I was still bagging everybody with the gap. But it definitely boosted my confidence because people used to make fun of my gap. And now as soon as that stopped being a topic of conversation, now I can focus on and everything else going on in my face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same Z's. I had braces, but only for 10 months and I only had them on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I just knew, this is the thing about me. I always knew that I was a cooker. Like wherever I was in life, I always knew I'm not in my final form.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I took it that seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I got rejected a lot. I talk about this often. I got rejected so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like cartoonishly rejected.
But that Leo energy told you, bitch, they don't know what it is.
It's just not my season.
Okay.
I'm still cooking.
Ain't no way you don't fuck with me for real. Okay?
It's literally,
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, no means no. Sure. But like, I think I've always known that like whatever was on the horizon would be better. My experience would be better than what I was currently dealing with. And I was right. And then when things actually turned around and I actually had a glow up and the options were in front of me, I wasn't stupid. Because it's not that, because I didn't come from a place of like, oh, I ain't never had shit. So I need, it was just more so like, because I think that both of us, we liked who we were early.
Yes. I always knew I had a great personality.
Yeah. Like
always.
You like yourself.
Yeah.
Even if, you experience rejection or even if you experience people not like affirming that.
Yes.
You knew that I'm a valuable person.
Well,
and
I don't know about valuable, but I did understand that I believed that my value solely lived in my personality and in my smarts. Because I also got you're so smart. And like, that was the one thing I got praised for. Every time I come home with another certificate, honor roll, all these things, I'm in AP classes now. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so smart. And I thought that was what my value was.
And look at you now, fine as hell, on the spectrum, smart as fuck.
I don't be feeling smart for real.
Baby, you're very smart. I listen to this
sweet.
here podcast. Maybe not this episode because we talk about some crazy stuff. But like, I listen to this podcast and I'm like, I'm dating a PhD.
Shut the fuck up.
A PhD.
Whatever.
Having person.
Whatever. That's
a
not
doctor.
True. Listen, we do research and we read off exactly what we wrote. It takes time.
Okay.
But thank you for thinking I'm smart.
Of course. What makes someone, outside of their looks, what makes someone attractive to you? Like something that looks could never solve. If you don't have this.
Honestly, I think it's equal parts looks, equal parts personality. Because I've been like fully attracted to people who I know a lot of people wouldn't think were like is attractive. You know what I mean? Like the group chat used to make fun of me all the time. They have nicknames for almost everybody I've dated in the past like 7 years.
Boar, frog,
no,
toad.
The last person I dated, not the last. Well, the last person that I like sent pictures to the group chat before, second to last, because the last person, it was just like a mid reaction. But second to last, they started calling her
oh no.
what'd they call her? Damn, it was a play on Moneybag Yo. Because they thought she looked like Moneybag Yo.
Oh, I remember this.
Mhm.
I remember this.
I can't remember what it was, but it was very rude. And they genuinely were like, Mindy, are you dead ass? And I was like, what?
I think
She's
that's
fine
rude.
as hell.
I think that's rude.
It is rude.
If I show you somebody and I'm like, I really like this person, and then you're like, yuck. I'm like, well, okay. Fuck my taste.
No, the thing is, they weren't even like yuck. They were like, okay. And then somebody was like, you know who she looked like? And then someone else said, Moneybag Yo.
A grown ass nigga.
In her defense, which I don't need to defend her because, girl, whatever, who cares? But she did not look like Moneybag Yo. And I think that.
So what drew you in?
No, I think that she genuinely is a very attractive person.
Okay.
But I think that there is a certain level of attractiveness I think that there are certain androgynous people who are 10s, but you won't see them that way if you are not into androgyny. Yes. Okay. And so I think that that's what happened there. Because when I showed those same pictures to friends of mine who are into women, they were like, holy shit. I remember Talon was like, bitch, where are you finding these? How you finding these? God damn. And everybody else was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because you're not into it. You don't see the vision.
That's what delayed my glow up as well. Because I think that when you don't have an obvious like representation in certain spaces, whether it be like fashion or just like aesthetically, whatever the case is, then you're just kind of like doing it yourself. And praise God, I have like a natural interest in these things. And so we figured it out. But I didn't know, like straight people didn't tell me I was cute. Only women who were interested in dating me.
That's what
told
I'm
me
saying.
I was cute.
Yes.
And so in like with a queer context, I know I've always felt that I was more attractive, or rather exclusively attractive in queer spaces. And as soon as I would leave that space, then I'm butt in the face.
Shut the fuck up. Don't say that.
But genuinely, I used to think that.
I think that that's so interesting. And I think that if more people understood that nuance, self-esteem would skyrocket across this nation.
What do you mean?
I think if more people understood that sometimes, because you hear this all the time, and let's take it outside the context of queerness and androgyny, there are so many Black girls who are genuinely beautiful, but they grew up in solely white spaces.
Yes.
And they think they are ass ugly, and they literally look just like Gabrielle Union.
Or you're just a dark-skinned girl and people like to say that you're masculine.
Yes.
Even if you're not, simply because you are dark, simply because your nose is a little wide, simply because you have big lips and XYZ. And so it's so funny to think that, like, when I was younger, I was like running away from masculinity because I don't want to be called mannish or saying that I look like a boy, because that's the worst thing you can be called when you're a young Black girl, because niggas are calling you that anyway. And then now I'm older. I'm very pretty. Yes, and I look masculine, more masculine. I've leaned in. This is what it looks like when I lean in.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that if more people understood the nuance of sometimes it's not you.
It's your environment.
It's your environment. Yes. So it's like, I get it. If I moved to a remote town in Asia today, they probably wouldn't be like, who's this stunning lady? You know what I mean? No, but it's about the location. The same way that there are certain places like when you hear about like those villages in certain countries in Africa where they find the most stunning beauty in the bigger women. Yeah. And if you show up and you're a size 2, they're like, get this bitch out of here. You know, or like long necks or whatever the case may be. Like there is a space and a place for everyone.
Agreed.
And I think that sometimes we hyperfixate on fixing us when truly you need to fix your environment. Fix the people that you have around you and understand that you are stunning.
Stunning.
Okay? A beautiful angel.
Even though.
What?
I'd be like, babe, you so pretty. And then you'd be like, you just saying that.
I know, but that's only because you always say it. And I know you just be saying that. Because I'd be looking crazy as fuck. And then you would look at me and you'd be like, you so goddamn pretty.
Because I understand the nuances.
Of me having my fucking one eyelash shut with just eye caca in the morning.
And you're like 8:45 p.m. Mindy after work.
This is
still pretty, still tea.
First of all, I have a full face of makeup on.
Well, you don't need that. You don't.
Thanks, boo.
Okay, wait, I have a question.
Well, you have so many. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, my fault. My bad.
This ain't no interview.
My bad.
Wait, I gotta pull it up. No, I was gonna ask you a question about what we were just talking about. Oh, what do you find? Because we didn't answer the question. You asked me a question, then we pivoted. We went to a different direction. I'll answer, but I want you to answer first.
Okay.
What do you find attractive? Like when you're, because we talked about this the other night, and Jade's answer was kind of crazy to me, but I want her to reiterate it for the podcast. How do you determine if someone is attractive and if you are attracted to them?
Oh, so attractive is just like objectively pretty person. Like when I look at you, green light, good to go.
But attractive to you.
Attractive to me, you need a little more than that. Like I have to understand what about you am I attracted to beyond what you look like.
No, because I'm talking about you're at the club and you see somebody. Being in LA, you go to a party, every single woman there is attractive. All of them are attractive. There's so many beautiful Black women out here.
Black women, yes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like imagine you go to a party, there's a room and it's 100 people, 60 of them bad bitches.
Mm-hmm.
How do you determine and how are you like who are you attracted to?
Like how do
like,
I choose which
are
one
you
I'm gonna talk
choosing
to?
or are you allowing yourself to just naturally be like naturally gravitate towards someone? Like what is it for you? Are you looking at the way that they dress? Are you looking at what is it? How do you choose who you want to approach?
I will say that I didn't realize that I was a body person until a little later in life. That matters. So I can look at someone's face and be like, wow, pretty woman, but I need the rest. I need the whole package. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that will like, make someone separate from the others. And then the other thing is there's the perfect combination and you have it. Perfect combination means like, y'all, my celebrity crush growing up was Ashley Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Me too. We had the same. We got the same type.
So literally, it's like the closer you are to that, nice smile, pretty skin, like well taken care of, manicured, 90s tone to the way that you just are, the way you look, whether that be in your makeup, how you dress, just brown. You know what I mean? Like that is gonna make me be like, I have to talk to you. Because you encompass everything that I like. Like you have every piece of the puzzle.
So just a thick Ashley Banks.
You don't got to be like thick like that, but you got to have more hips than me.
Baby, that's not saying much.
Exactly.
Okay. So
there was one time I attempted to talk to this one girl and I couldn't get past it.
That she didn't have hips?
She just didn't have any like body on her for real.
And everybody has a type that they enjoy. And there are plenty of people like because I don't want people to think that means a negative thing because it isn't. That's just not your type.
Yeah.
The same way that we're talking about attractiveness, sometimes I know for me, what I'm attracted to, other people may not be attracted to.
For sure.
And I move based off of emotion and like intuition and like feeling more than anything. So when I used to go out sharking in the clubs, I would look around and I would wait until somebody grabbed my attention. And I don't mean like they didn't have to be looking at me, but I would just like look around, glaze around, whatever, just do my thing. And the first person who made my attention stop, then I'd be like, we got to investigate. Because why am I intuitively focusing on you? Okay. And then I'll look and I'll be like, okay, do I find this person attractive? Yes. All right. Now I'm looking at the total package. Let me see, what do they have on? Because and maybe this is not a good thing to do, but I do this and I'll never stop doing this. I feel like I can perceive a lot about your personality based off the way that you dress.
Yes.
So if I look at you and I can objectively say, you know what, my attention stopped here. I think you're attractive. I don't like the way you dress because it gives me the feeling that we're not going to click. Then I'm not even going to approach it. Yeah. It's like this has happened to me multiple times. Attention, stop, fine, yes. Stacked denim, 15 dookie ass chains, J's, and a fucking blunt behind your ear. You're never gonna like me. I'm cool, and you're not my person. Like we won't vibe like that.
Yeah,
you're fine though, and I can accept and appreciate the fact that you're fine. But I'm cool.
Yeah.
Everything does have to be there, but it isn't like a specific aesthetic.
So there's like a vibe that you pick up on.
Yes.
Interesting.
But that's why I thought it was so weird when we were talking about it the other night, because you literally were like, you kind of just like look at people and calculate their attractiveness level to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then based off of how that falls, then you'll go talk to them. And for me, I can see someone who has the vibe, the aesthetic, the looks, but if my attention is not drawn to them, I don't care.
I think it's because I've also like, maybe this matters, maybe this doesn't, I don't know, but like I've had friends that have developed into crushes. So like there are people who I've like not liked at first, and then I came to like them.
But you were attracted to them via friendship. The thing is, attraction is attraction. If I'm in a room and I'm just like glazing around, and then one person out of 100 people catches my attention, I'm attracted to you. Yeah. And it may be friendship, or it may be you're my person. We got to figure that part out, because there's an attraction here.
See, I won't know if it's friend vibes or not until I speak to you.
No, but that's my point. I can speak. Yeah. And see.
Okay.
And if it's, you know what, ain't no chemistry here for real, because that's step 2. Now we have to see how we mesh, how we engage. And if there's no chemistry, I'm cool. It probably is friendship, and that's fine with me. Yeah. So imagine you meet somebody and it's a thick Ashley Banks. What is something that would ruin the attraction for you? Like, what's something that they would do, or something that's inherent to them, a characteristic or something like that, that would like dead it?
Not being light.
Skinned?
No.
Okay.
My God.
Why would you say that?
Light in like banter, like just playing. Because the reality is, if I've just met you, we're not talking about anything that's that deep.
Too serious.
Yeah. So just like anyone who's a little too serious, or just like isn't willing to just like volley and just like, you know, just play and just talk and joke around like that. Like someone who's like you're a little too, like, I'm not trying to figure you out. I'm not trying to like crack you or anything, but it's just like, let's be open at least to have a conversation to see if we even fuck with each other. And I feel like in the way that I am, the way that I exist in the world, I joke around a lot. I be roasting and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a playful person, so I kind of need that, or else I'm not into it.
Honestly, same. It wouldn't be immediate for me, but like, because well, no, that's true. It would be immediate for me, because I have dealt with that. Because I feel like typically when you first meet someone, the flirting is there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I have another one.
Okay.
So hygiene's very important to me. And you could be a perfect 10.
For sure.
And if I walk up to you to talk to you and your breath stinks, or I can smell the funk from your pits, and it's not like you just left the gym, like we're outside, it's an outside area, I'm done. Like it's gone. And I can still acknowledge the fact that I think you're fine, but I'm cool.
You know what mine is?
What?
And I hate this because it sounds very judgmental.
Oh God. Teeth.
Skin.
Oh.
You have to, hey, I'm a hyperpigmentation girly. I get it. You know what I mean? But like generally, I would prefer nicer skin.
Well, you know, I think that
because I like to touch.
I was gonna say, I think that there's levels and layers, right? So for me, it's like if you have a condition, you have something where like it doesn't matter what you do, then maybe I'll be more forgiving, because usually, if say you have cystic acne or something like that, you get on Accutane, or you know what I mean? Like there are certain things, or you have like I once dated someone who had like a really big keloid, right? But I didn't really care.
On their face?
But I didn't really care, because you can't help that and you still fine. But if you genuinely, your skin is bad because you eat like shit and you don't take care of yourself and you don't wash your face and things like that, yeah. Because I'm turned off by the fact that you don't take care of yourself. Yeah. I need somebody who takes care. Like there's more to it than just like your skin. You know what I mean? Even like when it comes to teeth, I don't really care about like crowding or gaps or things like that. What I care about is tartar. That's what I care about. If there's a thick layer of tartar
or a white tongue.
Yes. Oh my God, yeast going on. Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Even like an excess of cavities turns me off.
Yeah.
Because cavities are contagious. And I'm not about to be out here swapping spit with you. And next thing you know, I got 5 cavities. I've never had a cavity in my life.
That's so crazy to me.
You're not gonna take me down.
You got strong enamel in your bloodline.
I don't know if that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of sugar.
You don't actually.
Yeah, because my niece got multiple cavities.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't eat sugar.
You were eating Laffy Taffies in second grade.
I was more of a chip girl.
Got it.
Honey barbecue me.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, it's more so like, do you give a fuck about yourself? Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not gonna take care of me.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I like when people invest. I like an investment of the self.
Yes.
Like I like, and it can be in any way, whether that be like, oh, I really care about my shower routine. I really want to be in the gym, or my hair is really important to me. Like I think it's attractive when someone has invested into the health of the thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's why like the Looksmaxxing, the peptides, like all of these kind of like quick fix type of techniques, I don't know. I feel like we're removing their original like purpose. I feel like we're losing the plot because it's usually health based.
I don't know. I don't think Looksmaxxing was that. I think Looksmaxxing is specifically aesthetic based.
You're right.
But I think that that's what makes it shallow.
Or like a GLP-1. It's for people with diabetes.
But the thing is, to me, attractiveness is not about weight. Attractiveness is about how you take care of yourself. I think anybody can make themselves attractive. And it really is about taking care of yourself, dressing well, grooming yourself, making sure you brush your teeth and you smell good. You know what I mean?
But
like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, because like, no shade. When you look at somebody like a Jay-Z, back in the day, nobody really thought Jay-Z was fine. But when Jay-Z got money, people were like, oh, I see the vision. I get it. But it's because that's why when people say you're not ugly, you're just broke, it's not solely about, oh, now you can touch your face. Some people don't touch their face. Some people finally have access to get facials. They have access to go to the dentist. They have access to make sure that they're eating healthy and they're not, retaining all this fucking water weight, or their faces aren't bloated anymore because they're being healthy.
Right.
That to me leads to attractiveness.
I see that. For me though, like I think it's the lack of routine around health as a pathway to those results that's unattractive to me. So like someone could be doing all of the things, right? All of the things. But if there's no routine around the health underneath those things, then I'm like,
But how can you tell? You won't know that until you actually like get to know someone.
For sure.
Because, they could be gua shaing every day and then, throwing back double pounders.
Yeah.
How you gonna know?
Well, when I know, I'm a...
No, you in love already.
Nah. No,
Yeah.
baby, that's you.
No.
You be in love on day 2.
That's not true.
You do.
No, that's not true. I was
Baby.
single for a very long time.
You enjoy being in love.
I enjoy faking like I'm in love.
That's the answer to the question I asked you in the car.
What?
I asked you, what is one thing that's like a little psychotic about you?
That's not psychotic.
That's normal.
That's
to
whimsy.
people. Is it?
Yes.
Enjoying being in love with people
Why do you
that
think
you don't know for very
novels
long
are a thing? Why do you think romance films are a thing? Why do you think love songs are a thing? People like and enjoy the feeling of being in love. And so people will recreate these moments or this art to create a false sense of it because we love it so much. I love that feeling. We all love that feeling. You're the outlier here.
I'll agree with you on that one. When I think of love, I think of responsibility, discipline,
Venus and Virgo.
Showing up.
You can't help it. We
doing
talk about
the
this all
hard
the time.
stuff.
Listen, astrology is real. And I'm here to tell you that if you are dating someone who has Venus and Virgo, get ready. Because
For what?
to have to deal with stuff like that. Because
Oh.
to people with Venus and Virgo, love is a calculation. Love is a responsibility. Love is a formula. Love is not just a feeling. And for, I don't want to say everybody else, but a majority of other people, maybe like a Venus and Capricorn, feel it's slightly different. But most people, love is a feeling. Love is attached to like some sort of like, oh, a Venus and Gemini, you really stimulate my mind. You're such a smart person. I have feelings of love now. For a Venus and Virgo, Venus is in fall in Virgo. So it does the worst in Virgo. In terms of like the planet and like its energies. In Virgo, it's like, we here. All right. But it still functions well if you know how to do it.
For sure.
It's just you function in a different way.
Yeah.
You know? It's like we were talking about attractiveness and what you're attracted to. For you, it's formulaic. For me, it's, why can't I stop looking at this person? I got to go find out. And you're like, fits the quota, childbearing hips, pretty face. Okay. What shoes you have on? I can do it. And then you go.
Yeah.
I hate that.
In that order.
I hate that.
But when I'm locked in, I'm in there.
But you're locked in through responsibility that then gives you the fuzzy feelings.
It's less of like that. It's more so, I love you so much. I'm going to be this person for you.
What person?
I'm going to be like a dependable, sturdy, like trustworthy person because I think you deserve that. Like, I think that one misconception about Virgo and Venus
and Virgo
is that there is no emotional like backing or motivation behind these things.
There is, for sure.
But there definitely is. And I feel like that's actually what's made it hard for me to understand if I love somebody or not, because if I really fuck with you enough, I don't play about you. And so I show up in that way regardless. The extent might be different. For how long it might be different. Because like how I show up for you is different than like how I show up for like Sterling. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I think,
because a lot of people don't want to do that stuff.
Well, no, correct me if I'm wrong. And this is just me, based off of me knowing you and knowing astrology. It seems to me that the fulfillment, the feeling comes from being of service, right? Virgo is a sign of service. And so you kind of need a role to fulfill. You need a responsibility to have to maintain and to work towards, to feel as if this is a well-oiled machine. It's fully functioning. This relationship is healthy. You can't just be.
I think if I were to just be, then that means that the other person is that.
Yeah, but that's not true. Sometimes you both can just be and just be in love.
But I think that even that you have to work to that.
See, but that's my point. You don't have to sometimes. You can just be.
I can't.
You can't. You can't.
I can't.
But I can. And
You
a lot
can.
of people can.
Yeah. I can't exist and be if I don't know that these other things are taken care of. At that point, then I can like rest my little head in my heart.
It's very interesting. It is. When me and Jade were like 3 weeks in, we were driving back from a road trip because that's what we did 3 weeks into our relationship. We went on vacation and we were driving back to LA and I was googly-eyed and in love. And she was like, if I asked you to be my girlfriend right now, would you say yes? And I said, yes. And she was like, you're crazy as fuck. And I was like, if I asked you, would you say yes? She said no. And she meant that shit. And I wasn't offended because I already knew, because I had already looked at her birth chart, that she has a checklist. And if she doesn't check off every one of those itemized things on the list, she will never be able to move forward.
I feel like it's because I see like romantic relationships as a true, or just really all relationships, I guess, as an investment.
For sure.
And so I feel like I take them seriously.
But sometimes you need to be light. Yeah. You gotta be the one that's light. You was out here talking about these bitches heavy as fuck. You gotta lighten up. Lighten up.
But maybe there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah.
There's some truth to that.
Just be. You gotta enjoy.
But I also know that most people, no, I will say most people are not wanting to do the necessary work. Most people expect things to just work itself out.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that what you do the work to find the motivation. Most people find the motivation in doing the work, right? So,
Okay.
so for most people, it's like, oh my God, I got gushy feelings, butterflies in my stomach. And because I feel these things, now I want to get you a coffee in the morning, because I have feelings. Now I'm asking you, are you okay? And then ordering, cough syrup on DoorDash to help take care of you, because I have these feelings for you and I want you to be okay. For you, it's kind of the opposite, where you're like, well, yeah, I could do these things, but before I do I even fuck with you for real?
Yeah.
Let me analyze. Let me see. And for me, if we have one really good date and I think that you're a good person and I really like you, and then you tell me you're sick the next time we speak, I'm still going to get you the cough medicine. I'm still going to hit you up and be like, are you good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because the feelings motivate the action.
Yeah.
And that's okay. There's no right way to love.
No, there is.
There's no right way to love. I think as long as there are healthy ways and then unhealthy ways.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
We got there. Yeah.
But I don't want to say right and wrong, because I don't want people thinking that because they are more, type A, logical, Venus and Virgo type, that they're not loving right. That's not true.
Yeah.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's a different route to the same destination.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're being healthy and a good person, you're fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You'll find somebody that understands you. Pot is live for every pot.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This might be kind of a heady question.
Okay.
Do you think I'm just going to call it quick fix methods for attractiveness?
What does that mean?
GLP-1s, peptides, all of these things.
I don't know if I would put all those into the same batch for attractiveness.
Okay. What would you call it?
Because I think that we just talked about this in the car. There are certain people who are on GLP-1s not to make themselves more attractive, but genuinely so that they feel better in their bodies. You know what I mean?
But that's because they think they're more attractive, no?
I don't think that this is going to sound, I don't want you to take this in an offensive way, because I don't mean this in an offensive way. I don't think you understand because you've never been fat. And I want you to understand that a lot of times when you want to lose weight, it's not because you want to be more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be attractive and that's not the motivation.
Okay.
I didn't lose weight because I wanted to be more attractive. I lost weight because I was moving slow and I felt bad in my body. Like having that extra weight, you feel it in your body. And I wanted to feel lighter. I didn't like waking up in the morning and like dragging. You know what I mean? I didn't like the way that I felt when I was on set, walking from set to set all day and I'm winded.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't because I wanted to be finer. I genuinely did it for my health. Even Tabria been fine her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't lose weight to be finer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm speaking specifically about the people who do those things for that result, even though that may not be everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there is a moral issue with, I'm just going to say, I don't mean this in a judgmental way, but like taking a shortcut? Or do you think that this is just humans taking advantage of the technology that's available to us? Like, do you think that there's like a morality behind someone who's like, fuck no, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do this, versus someone who gets a shot?
I think people who harp on taking shortcuts versus doing it the hard, long way are very self-righteous. And I think that they're the ones with the issue. People can do what they want. They can take whatever shortcuts they want to take. They can do whatever they want to do. If I know that I could probably do 1 million squats and over the span of 3 years, get the ass that I've desired my entire life, or I could spend $10,000 and get me a skinny BBL, why would I not do that?
For sure.
Why would I not do that?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. It's for you. I think the biggest issue that I have with everything that falls under the umbrella of this topic is when people do things for other people. That's when you have the game fucked up. If you're doing it if you're doing things a certain way, like you're only in the gym because you don't want people thinking that you took a shortcut, that's dumb. And now your punishment is you are going to be in the gym for another 30 years. You know what I mean? Like you could take the GLP-1 if you wanted to. Now, I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying if your only reason that you're not doing it is because you don't want people to think about you in a certain way, that's where you got the game fucked up.
Yeah. I agree with you.
If you don't like the fact that you have crow's feet and you want to get a little bit of Botox, do it.
Your body, your choice.
Okay, do it. You can't let somebody shame you and tell you, well, no, you need to start eating beef tallow to get the natural collagen. Fuck that. Botox me, filling me down. Not me, but I'm just saying in general. We need to stop policing people and what they do.
I agree with you.
How do you feel about it? You're in the gym often. Do you think that it takes away from your gains if you are using things like creatine or you're on tretinoa or
what is that?
It's not tretinoa. What's it called?
Tesamorelin.
Tretinoa is something. I don't know what it is. But
yeah. The thing is, I've been in the gym for so long and I haven't hit my goal yet. And it's so frustrating. And the thing is, I'm trying to gain muscle. I'm trying to gain muscle, a full body recomp.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I have to look at myself in the mirror. And what I see in the mirror is the way that I judge my progress. So even if I was to be like, I want to feel good in my body, if I'm trying to gain muscle, I want to be able to see it.
No, for sure. But
you know what I mean?
But you also, and this is me talking to you, not me talking to the general public. You have to be easier on yourself because you are extremely hard on yourself. And you have gained so much from the beginning of your journey till now. And I don't want you to focus on the fact that you don't think it's enough. Focus on what you have done so far. You went from being someone who is not athletic to being in the gym almost daily and gaining a substantial amount of muscle mass within the span of a year or two. That is a huge deal. When people lose 100 pounds, but they do it the long way, it takes them years.
Yeah.
It takes them years. It took me a full year and a half to lose 60 pounds. And that was me on keto non-stop, at the gym non-stop.
But for me, because I've done it this long and I've gotten to where I'm at, I'm now fatigued by the fact that I'm not where I thought I would be. And so it's less of like, I'm mad this isn't working. Well, no, I am upset. I am upset.
Yeah.
I am upset with just like, I just thought I'd be further along by this point. And there was a conversation that I had with myself early on where it's like, I want to do this for me. Literally, I told myself, I was like, I just want to have the body I want.
Yeah.
Once in my life.
Yeah.
Just once. And so that was part of the motivation. And yes, me doing it naturally with like supplements, like creatine and stuff like that was a way that I was going to do it. I've been doing that for almost 2 years now. I've learned the lesson. I believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I can do hard things. I know that I'm proud of where I've gotten myself to this point. And now I'm like entertaining the idea of a tesamorelin because I'm like, maybe genetically there's something that I'm missing. Maybe there is, I think I am being influenced by the fact that like, okay, all these people are seeing results and I'm seeing people who are starting in very different places than I am.
Are you comparing yourself only to women? Or are you throwing men into the field too of like body goals and what you're trying to do? Because I don't know many women who are in the gym constantly that aren't bodybuilders, mind you, but just like regular people who are in the gym often, whose body is better than yours in that way, that are not like athletes and they just work out all fucking day long.
I mean, I do.
But are they bodybuilders? Are they like trainers? I'm talking about like people who have a job.
The thing is, like most people when they go on their body comp, and I'm talking about like studs on Instagram, but like most people when they go on a body recomp journey, sometimes that naturally has them ending up in a position where they want to be a personal trainer. They naturally end up in these positions where they want to help other people. No, but they're content creators
who, of course, I'm talking about people who just have a job and go to the gym.
Not many.
But that's my point.
Not many.
That's my point. I think that you are giving yourself an unrealistic standard because you're comparing yourself to people who are able to do 2 a days, 3 a days, who are in the gym constantly, who are in these communities and probably are already on the peptides and shit. I want you to have a realistic idea.
I feel like I do. And that's why I'm frustrated.
I don't think you do.
It's been 2 years,
Yeah,
baby.
I know, but I think that if you compare yourself to someone who's been in the gym for 2 years, you are on par. We have a friend, and we were just with her last night. She works out all the time. I don't want to say her name, but you know what I'm talking about. And her body looks just as normal as yours does. Yes. Like, she doesn't have this like super duper cut up body,
but
she looks
is,
healthy and she looks strong.
And I think this is the other thing. I'm a Black woman too.
Yes.
So I feel like that person is not.
Yeah.
That person is naturally lean. So them
so are you though.
Baby, no, I'm not.
Your default setting, you may be like dense, but you're not a big person.
I'm not a big person.
Yeah. So your default is to be on the smaller side.
But I do think that I'm also battling genetics, and I'm battling like hormones and like all these other things that come with just trying to do a body recomp as a Black woman that are different, especially when it comes down to diet too.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I do lower body because I want quads. My ass is
it's growing,
poking, and that is not what I'm not even targeting my butt at all.
But
it's
genetically,
mostly quads, but genetically it's doing what it wants to do. And so I think that's what I'm responding to, is the ways that my body isn't responding to what I'm directly trying to do. You know what I mean? And so there's a world where what you're saying is correct, and I am being too hard on myself for sure. There's also a world where I don't have the right information because I'm doing this shit by myself. I don't have a trainer. I don't have a dietitian, nothing like that. This is me literally
we talked about
tracking
that too.
my own shit. Yeah.
I genuinely feel like you should sit down with someone and tell them, so they can look at your body. You tell them about, your history of working out, what you want to look like, and then have them come up with something that is formulaic.
Yeah.
Because they know exactly what you're trying to target. For sure. Instead of you doing your own research.
Yeah. I think there's also the other motivation of, I got a breast reduction a year and a half ago, and like there are all these like these smaller things that, I mean, that's not a surgery, it's not a small thing, but like there's these smaller things that I've done to like feel masculine in my body, that, and I've never really required myself to feel masculine in my body until I started working out, until I started to see my shoulders get a little broad. That's when I started to feel like, oh, I actually want more of this. It wasn't when I had bigger titties and my hair was longer, I think it felt further away, and therefore it was not achievable to me. Even if I was, or like my goals back then was just losing weight. That was it. I didn't care about muscle, none of that shit. It wasn't until my appearance started to look more masculine to the point where I wanted the rest of me to feel. So to your point, like I wanted to feel that masculinity in my body.
Yes.
And unfortunately, like that's an aesthetic as well. So it's like I'm also chasing an image whether I want to or not.
Well,
because that is what comes with body recomp.
I don't think there's anything wrong with chasing an aesthetic. I think where it becomes wrong is if the sole purpose is for people to look at you and say, oh my God. Like, I think that's where it gets convoluted for me. But that's not what the case is for you. Yeah. Like you said, this is something that you realize is it's fulfilling a void you didn't even know existed. It's making you feel good in your body. Absolutely. I say pursue it. I think the reason why I'm saying don't be so hard on yourself is because I see the effect it's having on you, and you're crashing out about it. Yeah. And I don't want you to crash out about it because you've literally accomplished so much. And I don't like you saying you've been doing it for 2 years, because after your surgery, you had to sit down for months. Yeah. And you lost a lot of that muscle mass that you built up. So technically, you've only been doing it for a year and some change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that's a long time?
No.
A year and a half?
No.
Of tracking macros and working out minimum 5 times a week?
No, I don't.
People in the audience, you let me know.
No, for sure, because I know women who are athletes, and it takes them that long. Like, it's not something that happens overnight. We're not men.
I'm not gonna lie. I brought up the idea of microdosing tea to Mindy.
God, Jesus Christ.
And she thinks I'm gonna develop a little baby carrot penis.
She will. You're gonna have a little ding-a-ling, and I don't want that.
A little mini pickle.
Yuck.
A little curd.
No, well, let me not say yuck, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm shitting on people who got mini pickles. But I'm cool. That is not what I want to see.
I understand.
No.
I just don't want to. I don't want back knee. Let's cut this out.
We leaving it in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that, and this is going to sound very like, whatever, girl. I wish that we focused less on attractiveness in being a copy paste type situation.
Mm-hmm.
And attractiveness being a box you have to fit yourself into. Like, oh, I have to do this to be attractive. I have to do that. I think that if we all focus more so on just doing things that made us feel good about ourselves and just taking care of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you this right now, it don't matter who you are. You start eating better, you look better.
That's true. If
You know
you're
what I mean?
happy,
you're happy,
fine.
you look better.
Yeah.
And if we focused on that and you wore what you wanted to wear that made you feel good, how many times have you put on a fit that I'm literally salivating over and then you put it on the internet and somebody's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? There's not a box. You do what fits for you and you make yourself happy and it will work out in the end. Look at you. You living your best life. Fine as hell. Fit as fuck. Got a girl, bad as hell. That's me. Out here thriving. And not everybody wants to live the life you live or look the way you look.
That's true.
You're focusing on your own happiness and it's creating exponentially more happiness.
I agree.
It is what it is.
Do you believe? Oh, no, you do believe because you told me this before.
What?
Like, if you're a bad person, you look bad. If you're a good person, you look good.
No. I think there are a lot of bad people who are still aesthetically beautiful, but I think your spirit says it before your face does.
Yikes.
There's there's so many people out there that's attractive.
Yeah.
What was that serial killer, that man? Ted Bundy. Had these white women falling over themselves when he got arrested. Couldn't be him. He's killing people. He's so fine. Marry me. Yeah.
Remember Prison Bay?
Yes.
It's like we all forgot this nigga's a criminal. I don't know what he did.
But you talking about his light eyes.
Lock him up with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that attractiveness or that bad people or ugly people have an ugly appearance. I don't believe that.
I will say being fine doesn't solve anything.
Yeah, solve some stuff.
Maybe for some people.
I think that you have a unique position in not being femme and attractive. It's different. When you're femme and attractive, people give you things.
That's true.
People also, and I hate saying this. Ooh, I hate saying it. But it's true. People also treat you fucked up when they think that you're beautiful.
Why?
Because some people react in a negative way. Where it's like, oh, you think you deserve everything because you're so fine. Like people literally, I've lost jobs and I've had people treat me terribly on set and things like that and never understood why. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And had to have other people be like, girl, she just mad.
Yeah.
Because of what? The fuck did I do? And that's the reason why.
But baby, it's not even the fact that you look good. You look good and you're smart and you're funny.
Yes.
If I was an insecure person, I would hate you from the bottom of my heart.
Okay.
Because you imagine.
This is why I be saying you just be saying that because you love me.
It's true though. Like y'all think it.
Thank you.
I see the comments, all of them.
Relax. Thanks, boo. But it is a thing. And again, I think people focus way too much on these things. And I know it's easy to say, but genuinely, I think people focus way too much on it. It's a natural thing. Like, of course, like if I smile at someone and I'm nice, they're going to smile back and we're going to have a positive conversation. If someone who is deemed unattractive or ugly by society walks up and smiles and says something, you might grab your purse and run.
Yeah.
And it's the same energy, same motivation, but you're judging someone based off of their appearance, and that dictates the interaction that you have. It's the same thing when people be like, oh, and it do be funny, I'm not gonna lie. When like I saw a TikTok like this and they had a fine nigga and then a nigga who he just was, unattractive, I guess. And they said the exact same lines to different women at the mall. And the response is, were extremely different.
Well, duh.
No, yeah, but that just proves it's people are judging. You know what I mean? So the fine nigga walking up and he's like, damn, that ass fat as fuck. And the girls are
Oh, that's what they were saying?
like on a spectrum, wild things and also sweet things.
Okay.
A fine nigga walking up to a girl and being like, damn, that ass fat as fuck. They're like, stop. You play too much. And it's like, what's your name? And they're going to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
An ugly man walks up.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that ass fat as fuck. Security.
Literally.
Who the fuck you talking to? It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever use your looks for your own personal gain?
Only with you. Only with you.
That's crazy. When's the last time you did that?
What you mean? I do it every day. Like, I'll be like, the thing is, when I say use my looks for things, it'll be like little things where I'll be like, babe, can you move my car for me? Or like, I'll like, if we have plans to go somewhere and I know I really want to go I want to do something specific, but we don't have plans for real. I'll just get dressed really nice and I'll be like, I really want to go to dinner. And you'll be like, yeah, let's go to dinner. But I know if I ask you and I look bummy, then you'll be like, babe, can we just like order in and just like stay in? It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different vibe.
You tricky little trickster. What I gotta do? What I gotta put on to do that?
We talked about this already. Nothing. I be in love
I
all the
hate
time.
that. What you mean? I just gotta put on a hoodie and some jorts and you like,
No.
yeah.
Like, of course I like it when you look nice. I could look nice, but I think you always look nice. But like, look nice.
I feel like that's a cop out.
It's not a cop out. I love it when the thing is
tank top, no bra. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think that you are more of a visual creature in that way than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I'm always like, ooh. And you, like, there's an underlying ooh all the time. But when I like get dressed or I put on like a dress or a skirt or some shit like that, because I be dressed like a little boy all the time. When I get dressed and I got on like something skin tight, that's when I can see the ooh. You know? When I'm in the house with just like your clothes on, it's like, okay. All right.
We both got basketball shorts on.
Exactly. Twinning them.
Yeah.
She be hating that.
I don't.
You
I
do.
think it's cute. I like when you're comfortable.
Mm-mm. You make comments.
No, I like when your bum be off to the side and stuff. I do. I like it.
Anyway. Okay, well, guys, I know that was just us yapping for literally an hour and a half. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I do have a question. We usually do this on the episodes. Not usually. It means we be dropping the ball a lot of times. But I want you to ask the question because it's the question that you asked me in the car, and I think it's a really good one. And then I want you to answer because you didn't. Go ahead.
Oh, what's one psychotic thing that's normal to you?
She phrased it wrong. What's something about you that other people would deem psychotic, but it's just something you just do? Now that you think about it, you don't want to ask a question.
I wash my, well, I don't know if this counts. I'll give you two answers. One, I will wear headphones in the house over listening to music.
I do that too.
For all things and all ways.
I do that too.
All the time.
But that I feel like that's ADHD.
Fair.
Yeah.
Two, I have to wash my body in a specific order. And if I fuck it up, then I have to do it over again.
That's crazy as fuck. Yeah, you ate that up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like it has to be hands, face. Wash your hands in the shower. People don't wash their hands in the shower.
Okay, well, no, give me your order.
Hands, face, when I have hair, conditioner, let that sit, shoulder, shoulder, under titty, armpit, armpit, arm, thigh, inner thigh, outer thigh, rest of leg, feet, coochie last.
And you have to do it in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that tizzy, baby. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have. Okay, wait. Before I get into my order, are you facing the shower or facing away from it? Is the water hitting your back or your front?
My back.
So you turn around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do too. And I saw there was an argument about that on TikTok when people were talking about do you face the shower or not?
Because then I'm rinsing all the soap off. What's the point?
I mean, you're still getting it on you. You're scrub dubbing, so it's regardless, it's still getting clean. Okay. But I do understand.
I need a bubble.
Same. For me, it's get in the now. I have 2 different routines depending on if I have makeup on or not. Because if I want to wash my makeup off in the shower, I'll do like one of those like emulsifying, like like the little
like
balm
the Vaseline
thing.
melty.
Yes, that melts it. And then I'll get in the shower and I wash my face first because I don't want any of that makeup like lingering on my body.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So then it would be face first if I have makeup on. Then it's arm, pit, torso, legs, coochie, ass.
Okay.
Well, no. Legs, back,
yes.
coochie, ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to get them between them cheeks. You ain't say that.
I thought that was assumed. They're attached. It's cat dog down there.
Cat. It is cat dog. That's funny. Yeah. And I don't face the water either. Yeah. I turn around to rinse. It's like now soaping is done. Now we rinse.
You know what I like to do?
What?
You know how I like the water to basically burn me alive.
Yeah.
So I like to, as soon as I'm done at the very, very end, I turn the water up a little bit hotter and then I let it hit my back. Makes my toes curl.
3rd degree burns. Yeah. I need to go check. I need to look at your back.
I need a spicy shower.
You just got just like a spray of discoloration.
Whole back all red.
Yup.
I look like this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I have one that's like psychotic. But I talk to myself a lot. Full-blown conversations. I'll interview myself out loud all the time. And I do that when I'm at home by myself. And I love doing it. Not gonna lie. Also, I really enjoy like listening to things, but I don't want to actually have to pay attention to them. So I'll listen to like random things like pick a cards on YouTube or like a podcast or like I listen to people tell like bedtime stories. And just like throughout the day, just because
that's nice.
Sometimes I want somebody to talk to me a little bit, but like I don't want to engage. Like even with like the pick cards, I don't really care. I watch pick cards that have nothing to do with my life in the moment.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So there's this like subsect of the internet where it's all these like tarot readers, and then you'll go and it'll be like 3 cards and there'll be a subject. So it'll be like, will you become rich this year? Are they thinking about you? Just like random things. They have pick a cards across the spectrum. Of course, the majority of them are like romantic because that's what people hyperfixate on. Yeah. But you can listen to anything. What's my dream career? Like what should I do with my life? And I'll like go watch a pick a card, and then I'll let my intuition pick one. I'll be like, it's the 3rd one. And then I'll press play and I'll like literally jump in and out of paying attention to it. And they'll like say things like, oh, wow, got the 3 of wands. Honestly, it looks like you're going to be out here. I don't fucking know. Your dream career is in healthcare. And I'll be like, not me. Not me.
For somebody else.
But somebody else, yes. Or like they'll say something positive, and I'll be like, I claim that. Yeah.
Period.
But that's just because I need to constantly be stimulated. I think silence really fucks with me.
And that's your tizzy.
Yeah, it does. It fucks with me.
Why do all of us have, not say all of us, but why do a lot of us have autism?
Because all of our food is fake and pumped with hormones, and we've been set up from the beginning. Also, we have nothing like
we've been stimulated since day one.
We are constantly overstimulated in general. When you think about like how many waves are just passing through every room, how many devices we have. My phone is emitting waves, your phone is emitting waves, the computer, everything is emitting waves. And then we have things like these data centers that have a constant low hum, 5G towers, all these things. And I know it sounds like conspiratorial, but at the end of the day, it's very, very real. And so I've been keeping up with these people who have been doing this like Faraday experiment where they've turned their room into a Faraday room so no waves can penetrate, right? It's a dead zone. And whenever they get in the room, they don't notice anything for real aside from the fact that it's quiet and they can actually process their thoughts.
Wow.
The issue is when they leave the room, they are almost paralyzed with how stimulated they are. It's like a immediate stream of boom, thoughts, buzzing, all these things. Like we are all constantly overstimulated, and being in these Faraday rooms has like shown that. I really want one. If I were to be rich today, I would definitely build a Faraday bedroom.
That sounds so nice.
Where it's just quiet.
Just being a bitch reading.
Yes.
ASMR
and you actually have your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched a video, this one person, they have a Faraday tent, and they said that in their everyday life, they can barely speak without like stepping over their words and like getting jumbled. And I feel that way all the time now. I was never like this. But in the last like 3 years, it's so hard for me to articulate myself without stumbling. And it's because my thoughts are like racing, but I also have other thoughts popping in. And he said whenever he's in the Faraday tent, he can just speak and just like process his thoughts and journal. And it's one stream of consciousness. Oh my God, would that be fantastic?
That sounds amazing.
I would love that.
You know how big of a pill I would need to take to get in that flow state?
Okay. And that's the crazy part. We have to medicate ourselves to feel the way we're supposed to feel as default.
And sometimes I think about meditation and I'm literally like, that's just sitting down.
No.
That's how far gone we are.
No.
Is that we have to sit and try to quiet ourselves.
It's more than that though. Meditation to me is like bodybuilding for your brain. Because in today's world, meditating is literally clearing your mind, and it's so difficult to do that because of the constant overstimulation. That's why it's easier to meditate when you're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
No, for real.
In the desert, in a forest, because you're not getting all of this overstimulation.
We need to go live like the Amish. Churn butter and wear smocks.
No, I don't want to do that. But I do want to go on a retreat, and I do want to build a Faraday room in whatever home we live in.
Okay.
Yeah. Would love that personally.
Okay. Well, guys, make sure that you rate this podcast.
Not you stealing my lines.
And all the things so that we can get our Faraday home.
Yes.
In the Appalachian Mountains.
No.
Okay.
No. But Faraday home.
In Brooklyn.
I like LA. I think I want to stay here. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to move so bad.
I was trying to figure out where the llamas and stuff at. That's where we need to go.
We'll talk about it. We'll discuss. Okay. Like she said, rate, review, subscribe, but also follow Jade everywhere, guys. She's amazing. I love her. We all love her. Follow her. What are your handles?
I am Jade Fox on everything.
Everything. Also, she has a fantabulous YouTube account. She has temporarily abandoned her audience, but she'll be back.
That's so crazy. And you did too.
I did too.
Right. Jade Mindy on YouTube.
I did too.
Go bully her into making another vlog.
No, we talked about this last episode. I like, this is a part of my list. In the beginning of the episode, when I was saying that I was bullying myself about dropping the ball, that's one of the things. I have to do it for myself.
Okay.
But yeah, Jade is hilarious, guys. She's a star. That's my boo.
I'm doing an event June 23rd in Portland.
Yes, if you're in Portland, Oregon, go hear her speak.
All
I'll be
about
there
authenticity.
too, screaming from the corner. Yes. Y'all already know me. Follow me anyway.
Yeah.
It's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun. Yes. We'll see you guys next week.
Not you doing a little thing.
Bye. What's this?
This is what you just did.
That was like,
you
together.
nasty.
Oh my God.
CWatt.